Hi guys, so welcome back to my channel. In today's video I'll be teaching you how to make a modesty panel for a Victorian corset. Please do not forget to subscribe to my channel. Do not forget to give this video a thumbs up and do not forget to drop your opinion on the comment section. So this is a continuation of the previous video that I made. So I used the total back length of 14 inches and I added extra inch to it, which made it around that kind 16 or 17. I used a width of 5 inch, so then I square it out. So after squaring it out, I have to cut it out in this way. Just follow up the way that I'm doing it in this video, so you will be able to flow very well. So the next thing I do is to gum the fabric. You can use a hairstyle or a light gum to do the gumming. So after gumming it, I fold this into two and also fold it in like bias method, but it's not actually going to be cut on bias. It's just going to be like a stretch fabric that will cut out, but you just have to fold it in left side and the right side. So ironing this is one of the most important things that you actually need to do to give it a good finished look, and also trim the edge to make everything to be on point. So the next thing I do is to match up this panel to the dress. So I'll be sure that it's actually going to get the length, because now I actually used more length to cut out this panel, because I don't want a situation whereby it will be less, you get. So now I have to mark the edge that I'll be starting with. Okay, so this is me trying to mark it, and I also gave a small space that I will sew the edge up with, like a ½ inch allowance, so I can be able to sew the edge together. So the next thing I do is to pin, to align the fabric on the line that I ironed. I don't know if you notice there's a line there, so I just pin up the fabric to that line. Okay, so it will kind of match up with the fabric. Okay, so the next thing I do is to sew the first side that I folded. You can just turn it up at the back and see the side that I folded with the iron. Okay, I just stitch it up with my machine. So the next thing I do is to attach my bone on this panel. So the first thing I do is to trace out my bone and secure the edge with this masking tape. So I have to stitch it up on that same line. So after sewing the bone, like I'm going to sew 2 bones side by side. Okay, so after stitching this one, I'm going to be stitching the second bone to it. That's 2 bones will be side by side. Okay, so after placing the second side, I'll give a space, then place the last one at the edge, that is the center where the material was pinned on. You can just go back and check where I pinned the material. So that's where I'm going to attach the third one. Okay, there'll be a space in the center part. I don't know if you can see that space there. Yeah, there'll be a space for the center part, which I'll be using for my eyelets. Okay, so the next thing I do is to cover it up like this to know if it's actually okay. So then if I'm sure it's okay to cover up everything, then I stitch it up. But then while stitching it, I don't stitch everything to the end. You will see the reason as I proceed. So I actually stop stitching up here, then I flip it at the back. Okay, and I stitch it up like this. Okay, hope you can see it closely. So let me repeat it again. I have to to take this at the back. Okay, what I'm doing is to get a neat finishing at the top area, because I've already turned this edge with lining, and I'm also going to, you know, stitch it up so it will look all neat. So don't forget to check my previous video on how I was able to make this top. If you are watching this, you need to go and watch the previous video, so you will not be carried away, you will not be lost along the line. Okay, so the next thing I do is to, you know, to stitch it up. So this is the neatness that we actually want to achieve. Okay, the edge will be neat. So the next is to top stitch on all the boning lines. The first one, the second, and the third one, I top stitch on all of them. When I'm done top stitching, I trim the edge so it can be in line with the top. So the next thing I do is to insert a plastic bone on this three lines. So what I do is to secure the edge of the bone using a lighter, then I slot it in the lines one after the other, so to give me this kind of, you know, back effects. So the next thing to do is to figure out the wideness of your inner cover and mark out, then sew it up together and attach it to your modesty panel. So while sewing it up, that first step, okay, just go back and check the first step. So while stitching it up, you have to slot in this cover in before you stitch it up. So this is just it for the inner back cover. So you have to insert, that is if you want this back cover to be there. So the next thing is to mark out my eyelet point that I'll be using. I punch it, then open it up a bit with my scissors. You can decide to use a soldering iron to, you know, to open it up. So the next thing I do is to go over to my rivet machine and, you know, attach my eyelets. You can decide to do this outside if you don't have this machine. So the next thing is to bias the edge of the fabric. This is actually the last thing I'm going to do. So I fold it in here to get a finished look at the beginning side, and at the ending part too, I also fold it back. Okay. So after stitching it up, I trim the excess, then I fold it back just the way I did at the beginning side, and I also stitch it up. So after stitching it up, I turn it up, like I fold it back to, you know, to give it that finished look. I fold it back this way. Okay. So this is the last thing I do, and my top is ready. This is me fitting the dress. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please do not forget to give this video a thumbs up. Do not forget to like my video. Drop your comments in the comment section. See you in my next video. Bye.